Alright, my name is Sora and today we're gonna take a look at a very cool plugin called Dungeon Generator. This plugin is absolutely insane. There is literally too much stuff in this plugin to show you all in one video, but today I will just be going over the basics and show you what Dungeon Generator is all about. Hello there, how you doing? Anyway, before we start, do make sure to leave a like and also press that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. You would really help me out by doing that, you actually would. Also, if you need help with anything Minecraft server related, make sure to join Sora's official Discord server. Link will be in the description. And then without any further ado, let's dive right into this. So Dungeon Generator has been a project from Alien Labs for quite a while now, and the plugin is absolutely massive. At the core, it is just a plugin that creates dungeons. But believe me, it is so much more than that. So the Dungeon Generator works with different packs. So here we got the video pack, test, dungeon 1, and then another dungeon 1, and then survival, which is currently not imported. And I will talk a little bit about this game mode later in this video. But these are all different packs. Now I won't be going over how to create a pack in this video, as that would be a huge video on its own. Okay, so before I'm gonna show you why this plugin is so huge, let's just join a simple dungeon. So here we got the dungeons NPC. I'm gonna right click on there. So here we got two different types of dungeons. We got a normal one and we got a nightmare one. Now let's just join the normal one. Now this dungeon will scale depending on your level. So every single time you play a dungeon, you will gain XP, you will go level up, and when you're in a higher level, the dungeon will become bigger and harder. But let's go and click on join dungeon. There we go, the dungeon is being generated. We gotta wait for a little bit, and bam, there we go. It is extremely dark. So the way it works is this dungeon is generated completely random. Every single room, every single door, everything has been randomly placed. Now you see a timer up there. That's the time we have left to complete this dungeon. Now you might be like, Sora, an hour and 50 minutes? That's gonna be easy. Believe me, it's not gonna be easy. You're gonna have a hard time completing it in 2 hours. And I got a blindness effect. That's great. These dungeons are actually huge. And most of the times it will even be hard to complete the dungeon in that almost 2 hours. You can also see that we currently got 2 lives. Hi skeleton, how are you? Meaning that we can die 2 times and we will respawn inside of the dungeon before we are actually kicked out. Now what do you need to do in the dungeon? Well, you need to defeat mobs, find keys, and eventually defeat the boss, which is the ultimate goal. But let's go and just start the dungeon. I'm in creative, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna walk around here. You see all these ores, you can actually mine them. So we can mine coal, we can mine iron, we can mine some lapis, redstone. Then we got the skeleton here. It is a skeletal minion. You can of course defeat him. Not right now because I'm in creative, but they will attack you when you're in survival and you will need to kill them, otherwise you die. Oh my god, I'm stuck. Okay, not anymore. So you will basically go around this dungeon and eventually you will need to find yourself a key. So this is one of those keys. I'm just gonna pick it up. There we go. You found a normal key. Now on the right you also see the door distance. So we got a key, we can now of course open the door. So we've been inside of this part of the dungeon for a while now. We finally found a key. And now we need to look for the door. Now you're probably gonna get lost here in the dungeon as it is absolutely huge. So I'm just gonna go in game mode spectator to find myself the door that I need to unlock. Where is it? Is that it? No, that's not the door. Okay, here we go. I finally found the door. You can see that the door distance is pretty much 0. So now I can just right click and bam, the door will open. And a new part of the dungeon is unlocked. Now I can just walk around here, find another key, mine more materials, which you can use in, for example, your survival world, and overall just have a cool time. Now here we got a chest with some materials in it. You can loot them, you can use them, whatever. Mine more materials, there we go. Now you're only able to mine the blocks that you should be able to mine. So things like ores you can mine, things like stone, you can't. So you're not able to break the dungeon. And now let's go to game mode spectator again. Now you can see that these rooms look absolutely beautiful. Now not every single room will appear in every single dungeon, as like I said, it is completely random. But the main goal of your dungeon is finding keys, opening doors, eventually defeating the boss and looting the vault. So this time the vault is actually connected to our lobby. So this is the dungeon's lobby. This is basically the spawn location. This tile will always be the same. Now like I said, the doors connected to this tile will always be different. So this for example is no door you can use. This one is already open and this one needs to be opened with a key. And when you go inside of the vault, there will be a lot of strong enemies here, but also a lot of epic loot. Now, just to show you how big these dungeons actually are, I'm currently flying around on the outside. They are absolutely massive. There's so many rooms, so much stuff to explore. You can easily get lost. Now, if you want to leave a dungeon inside of the lobby, there will be a portal. You can just simply stand inside of it, wait for a little bit, and when it says 0, you build the dungeon. We're out. Perfect. So that is what a basic dungeon looks like. Now, the dungeon you just saw was generated with a pack called mines, which is why it looked like a mine. Now, you can create a pack yourself with your own builds, so the whole dungeon will be in your own style and your own theme. So that is really, really cool. Now, while it is of course really, really cool that the dungeon can have any look you want, there is way more to customize. So when we type /DG editor, just like that, then I'm just gonna click on the video one, because you might have noticed I'm currently making a video, and over here you will have a ton of different settings. Now, as this is just a simple showcase and not a full-on tutorial, I won't be going over all of this. But two things that are really cool and really important are the directives and the modifiers. So directives you could see as game rules. Game rules for the dungeons. So for example, allow fall damage. True or false. Then we got allow lever use, allow button use, allow chest open, allow ender pearl use, allow lava instant death. So when you touch lava, you will just instantly die. Shall kill on timeout. So as soon as the time is over, will you be instantly killed? Yes or no? Then we got the minimum modifiers, which is currently set to 4. So this means that as soon as you randomly generate a dungeon, it will at least apply 4 modifiers. Now the modifier section I will show in a second, but it at least has to apply 4 of them. Then we got all sorts of other crazy directives. So stuff like shall mobs be immune to knockback? Shall mobs be stronger and faster? Because why the frick not? All options you can change. Now there are 2 pages of directives, and these directives are per pack. So every single dungeon that gets generated with the video pack will have these directives. Now another very important thing is the modifiers. And modifiers is stuff that can randomly apply upon creating a dungeon. So you create a dungeon and 4 or more random modifiers will be chosen from this menu. Now there is some crazy stuff in here. So for example, the first one here, afterlife. You do not lose your items if you die inside of the dungeon, but you only receive back the ones you entered the dungeon with. So this is actually a pretty good one. If you leave the dungeon, you will keep your stuff you had before, but all the stuff you gathered inside of the dungeon you will lose. Now this is a pretty bad one. Knockback immunity. There's a 2% chance of mobs being immune to knockback. Then we got no fire protection, faster mobs, hardcore, safe zone, which is actually a pretty nice one. And we also got rich, an 80% chance of getting 2-time ore drops, insanity, doors, and more doors. That sounds horrible. Okay, so there are 2 full pages of modifiers. Enable the ones that you want, and as soon as you create a dungeon, the game will randomly apply them. It is really, really cool. Now per pack you can also modify the loot, so the loot that will appear inside of chests. You just have general settings, you got the door menu, tile menu, then just general information, the mobs menu as well, spawners. It is insane how much stuff is here and how much customization this plugin has. Now, it is also compatible with Model Engine and with Mythic mobs. So the boss mob can, for example, be a Mythic mob. That is something you can set up. Now, these dungeons could be a standalone server. You could make a server with only this dungeon plugin and it will be awesome. But there are of course a lot more use cases you can think of. So for example, when you have a survival server, you could delete a certain item from the world. Let's say you make all enchanted books completely unobtainable. Then you add the enchanted books as loot inside of a dungeon. And then the only way players will be able to get enchanted books is through playing a dungeon. So players will go around your world, they will gather materials and stuff, and eventually they will go to a dungeon crafting table or a dungeon NPC that is located somewhere at your spawn, for example, and they will get into this menu. So this is where you can craft yourself a key. So in this case, you need 45 cobblestone, 19 rotten flesh, 51 charcoal, and 11 bones. Now, after we provide these items, we will be able to get ourselves a key. And with that key, we will be able to join a dungeon. Isn't that right, mister? Now, of course, you can also play dungeons together with your friends. So when we type /DG Warband, you will be able to create a warband, invite other players to your warband, and then join a dungeon together. So we can just click on here, bam, warband's created. Now we can invite 3 other players, and after that, if I would join the dungeon, all those 3 other players will come with me and we can try and raid the dungeon together. Of course, the dungeon will be harder and larger because more people are joining the dungeon. So it will actually scale depending on how many players are joining the dungeon, which is really cool. So here you will actually see a dungeon generating from the outside. Slowly all the cubes will spawn, they will link together, the doors will be created, the boss room will be created, and after that you will spawn into the lobby. Now after just joining a dungeon, you will actually see the modifiers that are randomly applied to the dungeon you joined. So I just joined this dungeon and I can now see that it randomly applied permanent speed 1, no natural regeneration, in other words you cannot naturally regen health. We also got Guardian, players receive 1 time 20 yellow hearts, and permanent mining fatigue, tired. So those are the modifiers for this dungeon. If I would leave this dungeon and create another one, then the modifiers will be completely random once again. It is absolutely awesome. Now before I end this video, there are 2 more things I want to talk about. The first one is a brand new game mode coming to dungeons very soon. It is called Survival, and you will basically be placed inside of a dungeon with a whole bunch of other people, and the last one who survives wins. Now survivaling inside of a dungeon can be quite hard as there are a lot of strong mobs and PvP is enabled as well. So it will actually be a huge challenge to make it out, but if you do, you will be an absolute pro. Now survival is coming to dungeons very soon, and Alien Labs, the creator of the dungeon generator, is actually doing a beta test very soon. Now if you want to join the beta yourself or you want to learn more about it, make sure to join the Alien Labs Discord server. A link will be in the description. Do for sure check it out. And the very last thing is that me and the creator of Dungeons have actually partnered together. So besides Alien Labs, the owner also has a Minecraft server hosting company, which is called AlienHost. SoraCraft is currently being hosted on their servers and the performance has been absolutely amazing. Now if you want to build a Minecraft server yourself and you want the best hardware to host your server on, I would highly recommend checking out AlienHost through the link in the description. And on top of that all, I also got 2 codes there. You can use code CASASORA10 for a 10% off your order, and from April the 1st until April 16, you will be able to use code EasterCasa20 for a 20% off your order. So do for sure check them out through the link in the description. Make sure to join their Discord server as well. And then guys, that's gonna be it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also press that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. You would really help me out by doing that. You actually would. Also, if you need help with anything Minecraft server related, make sure to join CasaSora's official Discord server. Link will also be in the description. And then I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.